Every MLB team has named their opening day starter, so I ranked all 30 of them from S tier to D tier, and I already know you're going to disagree with some of these.
That's my specialty.
To kick things off, let's start with the only two guys slated to toe regular season rubber on March 25th in front of 40,000 plus at Oracle Park and hundreds of thousands more on Netflix.
No! God, please, no!
Going for the Yankees is Max Fried, who outside of an ALDS start that looks so bad that many Yankees fans put on a tinfoil hat to try and find something to blame, was incredible for the Pinstripes in 2025. He 8 innings for a team that desperately needed them, seamlessly made his cutter his primary pitch, limited damage, and had a sizable uptick on his average 4-seam velo. But to me, there is a clear tier of pitchers above him, so he sets the tone for the A group. Opposing him is lifetime Giants starter and longtime ace Logan Webb, who looked as sharp as ever for the US and the WBC. Webb is a perennial Cy Young candidate that has pitched over 200 innings in 3 straight campaigns now, but his sinker and sweeper can get hit hard, and his cutter has not been a helpful tool for him since he reestablished it in 2024. So for me, Webb is a B. The earliest game on Thursday is between the improving Pirates and New Look Mets. On the hill for the Buccos is arguably the best pitcher in baseball, Paul Skeens. I could boast about his skill set for hours, but let's save us all some time, easy S tier. Opposing him is the newly acquired Freddie Peralta. All 4 pitches in Freddie's arsenal were effective put-away pitches in 2025, making him a strikeout machine yet again. I expect the same in 26, but I still don't love the lack of command he can be prone to. For that, he joins Max at the top of the A tier for me. Next is White Sox starter Shane Smith. The soon-to-be 26-year-old had a great rookie campaign for a terrible Sox team in 2025. His fastball is electric, his changeup is a good weapon against lefties, and his curve can be a great put-away when it's not getting hammered. He's still young, and the team around him should be better this year, but I can't go above C tier with Smith at this point. For the Brew Crew, it's the kid who came up with so much hype and was gifted an all-star nod after just a few starts, Jacob Misiorowski. The heat is unbelievable, and the K rate and whiff rate follow suit, but he's still quite raw and needs to vastly refine his command. His August and September numbers certainly humbled him, and I think this rating might too. B. After trading away Mackenzie Gore, the Nationals are going with 2020 first-round pick Cade Cavalli on opening day, who generated a lot of chase and avoided barrels over 10 starts in 2025. His 4-seamer averaged 97.1 miles per hour, but his knuckle curve, sinker, and cutter were all hit hard. I like his upside if he can stay healthy, but for now, he's in the D tier for me. He'll be opposed by Cubs lefty Matthew Boyd, who finally stayed healthy in 2025 and earned himself an all-star nod because of it. There's not a ton of swing and miss in Boyd's arsenal, but he does have great command of all 5 of his pitches, which he depends on heavily. B tier in my books, but I'll admit, I was tempted to go C. Joe Ryan gets the ball for the rebuilding Twins after being one of the few bright spots for the team in 2025. His 4-seamer and sweeper played off each other well in 25, but his sinker, splitter, and slider could still use some work. I like him, but hate the Twins in 2026. B tier. The Orioles are going with the man who refound the stuff that got him taken in the first round back in 2017, Trevor Rogers. The run value section of his 2025 Savant page is a thing of beauty, but can we expect that to carry forward in a guy with a 93 mile per hour heater and who was also in the bottom 3% of the league when it comes to hard hit percentage? I'm sorry Birdland, but B tier is as high as I can go. Paul Skeens looks lonely up there in S tier, so let's give him a friend. My pick to win the AL Cy Young this year, Garrett Crochet. No explanation should be needed. The Cincinnati Reds counter with fellow southpaw Andrew Abbott, who had a breakout 2025 campaign with a 2.87 ERA over 29 starts. He was in the top 7% of the MLB when it came to hard hit percentage, but his fastball velo leaves a lot to be desired, and all of his secondary stuff still needs refinement. I like his outlook moving forward, but C tier for now. The Angels are going with 6'3" right-hander Jose Soriano, who has an electric sinker and 4-seamer and was the ground ball percent king of 2025, but he was also in the bottom 4% when it came to hard hit percentage. He doesn't generate much whiff or chase and walks way too many. Easy D tier for me for a likely D tier team. The Astros gave me my hardest decision with their stud ace Hunter Brown. His 4-seamer and knuckle curve were elite in 2025, and his slider was a nasty put away against righties that I expect him to feature even more in 2026. I really wanted to put him in the S tier, especially since there is one very comparable guy further down this list that I do give that ranking to, but for Brown, A. Let's do an easy one to give me some reprieve after that one. Tarek Skubal goes for the Tigers, as easy of an S as there is, even though I think Crochet will best him this year. Quick pause before I get to the second half. If you enjoy MLB content like this, hit subscribe. I'm trying to build a community for smart baseball fans on YouTube, and every sub, like, and comment genuinely helps me out. Thanks. The Friars took forever to name their starter, but they are going with Canadian Nick Pivetta, who had a resurgent 2025 with a 2.87 ERA while racking up 190 Ks. He held opponents to 183 batting average with his four-seamer, but also gave up 13 home runs off of it, which aligns with the not-so-pretty barrel and hard hit rates. B. The Rays are going with Drew Rasmussen, who managed to stay healthy in 2025 and pitched to a 2.76 ERA despite playing his home games in a minor league ballpark. Rasmussen has always had great command and misses barrels, but he doesn't generate a lot of whiffs. Another member of the B tier. The Cards are countering with a guy that the Rays originally took in the first round of the 2018 draft, Matthew Liberatore. In his first full season as a starter, Matt limited opponents with a good curve and change, but his overall arsenal struggled to generate much swing and miss. His fastball is pedestrian and his sinker got hit hard. He's an easy third member of the D squad. He's one of those guys you especially love to watch in October, but Nathan Eovaldi was nails for the Rangers in 2025 over the 22 starts he was able to make. His curveball was elite, holding opponents to a .096 average, and his command of the zone, with all of his pitches, is always a joy to watch. I'm not so sure he'll be able to defy Father Time again this year, but for now, he's still A-tier material. Now for the guy that I think will elicit some anger from Astros fans after I put Hunter Brown as an A, but I have Phillies ace Christopher Sanchez in the S tier. To me, he's fully refined his sinker to be the perfect mix with his world-class change. Add in the slider, and I have him up there with the league's best. Next, we have D-backs ace, at least until Corbin Burns returns, Zach Gallen. 2025 was a major step back for the once dominant Gallen. He was below league average pretty well across the board, and served up a career-high number of home runs and free passes. While I do think he'll bounce back at least a bit in 2026, I still have to put him in the C tier for now. The back-to-back champion Dodgers are giving the ball to their World Series MVP Yoshinobu Yamamoto on opening day. Even before what he pulled off for them in the postseason last year, I would have had him in the S tier, but that only further sealed the deal. The Cleveland Guardians are turning to Tanner Bybee, who like Gallen took a step back in 2025. His strikeout total was down and his home runs allowed total was up, as his great sweeper found itself unsupported by both his four-seamer and sinker, which opponents hit well off of in 2025. Bybee like Gallen is a C to me right now. The AL West winning Mariners are going with Logan Gilbert to kick off their campaign, and for good reason. Logan has great command and elite strikeout stuff, with his split finger holding opponents to a 119 average. He did get barreled up and hit harder in 2025 than he did in 2024, but Gilbert to me is part of the A tier. The technically homeless Athletics are turning to Luis Severino for a second straight opening day. Despite an underwhelming 2025 campaign where his strikeout rate dropped, fastball and cutter both got hit hard, and he hit an MLB leading 16 batters. Severino is nowhere near the guy he was for the Yankees in 2017 and 2018, and to me, is a member of the D tier. He'll be opposed by Blue Jays veteran Kevin Gausman. Gauss generated a lot more chase with his bread and butter splitter in 2025, thanks in large part to his vastly better command with his fastball. His slider still needs a lot of work if he wants to be more than just a two-pitch pitcher in the last legs of his career. I personally love watching him work, but he's part of the B tier. The Colorado Rockies will be going with Kyle Freeland again as they start their quest to improve upon last year's 43-win season. To be honest, I feel bad for the guy that hasn't had ace stuff since 2018, but is still expected to be one year after year. In 2025, he didn't do much of anything well other than avoid issuing the free pass. Easy D tier. The Miami Marlins are going with 2022 Cy Young winner Sandy Alcantara, who returned to the bump for the Fish in 2025 after missing all of 2024 recovering from Tommy John. Aside from rare flashes of his former brilliance and a still very electric fastball, Sandy struggled to put guys away in 2025. I hope he refines it, but I have to put this Marlin in the C. Pun intended.
That's a good one.
The Kansas City Royals are giving the nod to Cole Ragans, who was the K% MLB King of the Hill in 2025 over the 13 starts he was able to make. Ragans' changeup is filthy, and he seems to wisely be backing away from his cutter. His command improved but could still use some work, and batters barreled him up a lot more than he'd like. For now, he's reluctantly in my B tier, although I'm fairly confident he'll graduate back to the A group shortly. And the 30th and final opening day starter is the soon-to-be 37-year-old Chris Sale, who was incredible again for the Braves in 2025. He continues to be a strikeout machine, and his slider is arguably the best in the game. I really wanted to put him in the S tier, and at this time last year I obviously would have, but for me, he's the captain of the A tier alongside Hunter Brown. Those are my rankings. I can't imagine you agree with them all, so let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as we all prepare for the 2026 season, be sure to watch my other recent video on the 5 spring training stories that could define the season. And be sure to subscribe for plenty more baseball content.